Imagine you're sleeping inside a tightly packed group. You're surrounded by people who are supposed to protect you. But there's a problem. Predators don't see everyone in the group equally. And where you sleep, where you stand, and how connected you are to the others could change your chances of becoming the target. When we imagine prehistoric humans facing predators, we usually picture the obvious threats: sharp teeth, darkness, fire, and weapons. But there's another factor that's much harder to see: your position inside the group. A large group can make a predator think twice. More eyes can detect danger. More individuals can respond. And a tightly packed group gives a predator fewer easy opportunities. But the protection isn't necessarily equal for everyone. So what happens when one individual ends up on the edge? Researchers studying social animals have found that members of the same group can face very different levels of predation risk. Some individuals spend more time near the edge. Others become separated from the group. And some positions expose an individual to danger more than others. This means that simply belonging to a group doesn't automatically give every member the same protection. Where you are matters. Who is around you matters. And how easily a predator can isolate you matters. Imagine a predator approaching. It doesn't necessarily need to attack the center of the group. It only needs one opportunity. One individual is slightly separated. Another is distracted. And the other is positioned on the outside. Suddenly, the group isn't one target. It's a collection of different levels of vulnerability. The predator is looking for the opportunity that requires the least risk. And isolation can create exactly that opportunity. The strongest protection may not come from the physical strength of one individual. It can come from the group itself. More eyes mean earlier detection. More individuals mean more potential defenders. And greater density can make it harder for a predator to isolate a target. But when an individual moves away from that protection, the balance changes. The distance might be only a few meters. Yet those few meters can separate an individual from the eyes, bodies, and reactions of the group. In a world filled with predators, that small gap could matter. And this is where the story becomes relevant to our ancestors. Early humans lived in environments where large predators were a real part of the landscape. They didn't need to understand evolutionary biology to learn the danger. They only needed to experience it. Being alone was dangerous. Moving together provided protection. Sleeping close together reduced the chance that one person would be completely isolated. And watching the surroundings became a shared responsibility. The group wasn't just a social community. It was also a survival system. But here's the uncomfortable part. Being inside a group didn't mean everyone received exactly the same protection. Social relationships could influence where individuals position themselves. Position could influence exposure. And exposure could influence risk. The group protected you. But where you belonged inside that group could still matter. The safest place wasn't necessarily available to everyone at every moment. Sometimes survival depended on staying connected to the people around you. The greatest weapon our ancestors had against predators may not have been fire. It may not have been a spear. And it certainly wasn't strength alone. It was staying together. Because in a world filled with predators, the most dangerous place might not have been the wilderness. It might have been the few meters between you and everyone else. If you want to discover more hidden survival rules from the ancient world, subscribe for the next story.